viewers, welcome to the video library series of Word and Lord Ministries of the Universe, City of Love and Forgiveness. Happy viewing.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. We remain honored and thankful to God for a day like this, as it has always been, and as it will forever be, that the time has come when men will relate with God in truth and in the spirit, as though they are relating with their fellow human being. A day when all the prophecies of the ancient prophets will come to fulfillment. A day, the prayer of our Lord Jesus Christ in the book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 10, that the will of God will be done here on earth as it is in heaven, has come to fulfillment. It's a great day. So many great men of old really longed for, but they were not privileged to see it. Blessed are this generation, in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. Our message today is titled, A Day of Freedom. A Day of Freedom. Yes. What is freedom? A man is not free only when he can go to supermarkets and buy things. But a man is free when he is physically and spiritually free through the knowledge and understanding of truth. Through the knowledge and understanding of truth. That is when you are free in life. But if you do not know truth and don't understand it, you are not free. Because all those limitations that you are suffering from is caused by nothing but by your lack of knowledge of the truth. And I made you people to know that a man can be free without freedom. A man can be free without freedom. Being free without freedom is that self-righteousness we are talking, that only you is free, but other people around you is not free. You know what we talked about? The compound meaning of freedom. Freedom means free and domain. The word D-O-M, which is dom, means domain, a country, a territory that you govern. So when you are free and you don't have a domain you rule over, then that being free is not a freedom. And how do you rule over a domain? You rule over a domain by having people your freedom affects positively all around you. You can change their life and transform their life. But if you claim to be free and nobody has been saved through you, then your being free is not a freedom, because you don't have a domain, you don't have a country you take over and control. Please, it's very, very important. It is when you understand the meaning of a word that you know what it means for a person to be free and freedom. Just like the occults. An occult man has money to spend and a life to live, but he can't help a person, people around him. Even his closest friend or brother, they are all suffering. So you find out that when you are looking at the person, it seems as the person is free. But there is no freedom because there is no one whom he set free. There is nobody that can say, if not because of this man, I wouldn't have been what I am today. If not because of this woman, I wouldn't have been saved. That means you are free, but you don't have freedom. You don't have a domain, people you influence. So freedom starts from you. Then we say that a man is free, or the day of freedom is a day when a man alone is not free, but every person around him is free because of who he is. So a day of a freedom is a day from man to a nation freedom. A day or a time from a man as an individual to a nation freedom. You as an individual cause a nation to be free. Cause a community to be free. Cause your family to be free. That is a day of freedom. A day of freedom is when a man come to know or realize that he is the governor and president of his words, thoughts, action, body, soul, and the spirit. That's a day of freedom. When you grow to know that you are a president over your body, soul, spirit, thoughts, and action and words. That as a president of a country can be voted into a political post, or a governor can be voted into a political post, so also you can vote in an idea or a habit in or out of your life. That's a day of freedom. When you can vote in or out an idea, a habit, in or out of your life, by the decision that is made by these 6 citizens, electorates, and ESCO of your body. The 6 citizens of your body. 6 citizens of your body. As the citizens of a country can vote a president into a political position, so also the 6 citizens of your body, which is your body, soul, spirit, your thought, words, and action, can vote a habit in or out of yourself or your domain. Please, it's very, very important. We are going somewhere. Get this understanding and the foundation will be laid. When a man comes to know that he has the power and ability, God-given power and ability, to decide what happens in his life without any external interference, influence, or urge, that is a day of freedom. You determine, a man has the power to determine what happens in his life. When you come to this point, you begin to know that you have freedom. You decide what comes in you or what goes out of you. Then that is the day you begin to know that yes, you are a free man and you have freedom. Without any external urge or interferences. A habit you don't like, you can vote it out. The one you like, you can vote it in. What we call meditation in this context is the coming together of these electorates, these escorts, each time in your life, for you to decide and deliberate upon a lifestyle you choose to live for yourself. A habit you decide to go into or come out of. Then that is what is called meditation. When you sit down and assemble all these citizens and begin to decide which habit, which lifestyle am I going to go in, then you are meditating. You are under meditation. You can't conduct a meditation without involving these citizens. After deliberation, you people will now decide on a habit to vote in, on a habit not to vote in. But everything that is made in your life or comes in your life is caused by these 6 citizens or escorts of the body. Please, this is it. That's why we take our reading from the book of Psalm. A man suppose every day, before you come out in the morning, call these electorates and make a discussion with them. That's meditation. All what you people call prayer, to a large extent, is a waste of time. Because you don't have a deep thoughts and reflection upon your life. You pray because one thing is disturbing you. Then I wonder how those things you are praying for will come to fulfillment unless you sit down and take stocks of your life. If you do not take stock of your life and get these people involved to make decisions, you now find out that you continue repeating your mistakes and that prayer point will never come to fulfillment because it is done without the agreement of those that are supposed to agree with it. Psalm 4 verse 4. Psalm 4 verse 4. The book of Psalm, it says, complain if you must, but do not, what is that? Last out. Okay? Stand in awe and sin not. Commit your own heart. Let's check another translation. Go back to that. Complain if you must, but do not last out. Keep your mouth shut and let your heart do the talking. Glory be to God. Do you understand what he's saying? Keep your mouth shut. Let your heart do the talking. Glory be to God. Let the electorates discuss, the citizens discuss, the 6 escorts discuss on the lifestyle you have chosen to live. Let's go to the next verse. Verse 5. Build your cases before God and wait for his verdict. Take us to King James. Offer the sacrifice of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. Offer the sacrifice of righteousness. After you have allowed your heart to talk and make a decision, then the only thing you need to do is to trust God. Some translation says, lie down in your bed and wait upon the Lord after meditation. So to this effect, I tell you that the National Assembly as you have it in the presidency of your country, your National Assembly is where? Is in your heart. Where you deliberate over the things which you do and the things which you do not want to do. A habit you want to go into without external influences. Please, it's very, very important you note this. I'm saying without external influences. Because there are so many people who cannot make a decision by themselves. Their decision is determined by what they see outside. Their decisions about life, their habits are being done based on what they see their friends and relatives doing. So it is very deadly that you do not know that as a president of a country is a president to a country, so also you are a president over your body, a governor over your body. You are expected to rule and govern yourself without any external interference. That means you have freedom in life. But if you are being ruled by the things you see around you and you hear people discuss about you or around you, you are a finished person. You can never take control of your life. When you sit down to make a decision and a resolution or meditate over things, that's what Psalm 4 verse 4 is saying. It says complain, but do not do what? Take us back again. Verse 4, let's get it. Stand in awe and sin not. Go back to another translation. Complain if you must, but don't last out. Complain. Ask yourself questions. But don't allow that question you are asking yourself to weigh you down. Don't be angry at it. And be angry at yourself. But for you to ask yourself question, you are allowed to ask yourself question. Let's go to King James in the same verse. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. And be still. We want to make a YouTube where we will let the world know how to pray prayers. A prayer is more effective when you learn how to listen. More effective when you learn how to listen more than you pray. Please, when you learn how to listen more than you pray. Because so many people are talking machine. God just wants to speak, he said no. What you are watching is how many hours you have prayed without learning how to listen. It is at the point of listening that these executives and citizens of the body begin to reconcile account with them and know what is wrong and what is not wrong. Please, very, very important. Learn how to listen more than pray. Because prayer, it is you talking. Listening, it is God that is talking. Praying is you giving God. But listening is God giving you. So prayer is a communication. You make a decision based on that. Then after you shall have made a decision, you come in the public to do what? To manifest that which you have decided inwardly. And if it is of truth, don't allow anything to stop you doing that which you have decided at a closed door. So as a country is, as a nation is, so you are. Please write it. As a country is, as a nation is, so you are. No country, you see, take this one. Any country that is bad not because of the country itself, but because of the citizens. No country is a good country which its citizen is bad. And every country that has a good citizen must produce a good government. For a country to be bad means that the citizens are bad. So we should forget about a country and concentrate on the one God has given unto us to govern. A country failed because you failed. A country is bad because you are bad. If you are a good person, your country must be good. Very, very important. There was a day I was coming here. I dropped some of my people here in Lube. One of my sons, I was with him. I wanted to drop. And for we to finish what we were talking, before we know, people of the road safety came and blocked us and said that where we parked was wrong. I relaxed. I was very calm. So my son said he wants to go and beg them. I said, no, don't beg them. What are they going to do? Is it money they want to collect? I have money. Is it time? I have time. Praise the Lord. So I don't see any reason why I should go and begin to beg a person I can feed at home. And my particulars are okay. So if he says it's money he needs, that I broke a law, I give him money, I have it. If it is time, I can stay here for the next 2 days. There is no problem. So they were so provoked that there was no reaction coming from me. And they went to, I don't know, they carry POS. They went and did something and printed out this thing and said, go to so place, your fine is 3,000 naira. I said, look at you. I told the road safety person, look at you. 3,000 naira is why you stopped me and wasted me all this time. We drove off. We went to where this federal housing site. We went there to pay our bill and go our way. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay. So when we got there, a man came. Taxi, is it a taxi man or kabu kabu man? I don't know. These people, so bad. Nigeria is so bad. Everything in Nigeria is bad. Everything is in Nigeria is bad. I asked him, is it Nigeria that arrested you or a road safety man? Glory be to God. You understand? Is it a Nigeria that arrested you or a road safety man? Who can answer the question? Then why is he calling Nigeria? Eh? It's what? Glory be to God. You understand? You're not supposed to call Nigeria. It's a road safety man that arrested him. So if the road safety man would have been good as a road safety man, then there is nothing to bring Nigeria into it. But because the road safety man is bad, then that is the reason why he was arrested, if he was right. Are you people getting what I'm trying to say? We always look for a place to hide. We don't know that the problem is from us, not from the country, not from the president, but from you. So it's nothing to begin to talk about Nigeria and Nigeria and Nigeria and Nigeria. Whereas the government giving unto you to rule over, you cannot handle it well. Then why didn't I quarrel with the road safety people? Because I discussed with the ESCOs. I discussed with the ESCOs that another country is coming into my life. They arrested us. Then me and the ESCOs, the 6 electorates, citizens of my body, we discussed. I met the body, I met the spirit, I met the soul. I discussed with the thoughts, I discussed with the word, and I discussed the action. And all of them say, be calm. Glory be to God. Be calm. Don't allow this stranger to come into you and destroy you. Give them what he wants and leave. I was calm, discussing with my citizens, my electorate. But a person who do not consult the electorate, what will he do? He will flame up. And thinking that he can act without the permission of the people he came with, which are the electorates and the citizens. Please, this is very, very important to you. Because when you learn how to think before you act, your life will be as superb as someone who is in heaven here on earth. Are you listening to me? Yes. One of my brother, we grew to begin to talk. Immediately a call come from village or something, contract or business or whatever. He will tell them, I'll get back to you. I will get back to you. Any foreign information or message that comes to him, I will get back to you. He was telling me, I learned it from you. Praise the Lord. I learned it from you. Don't answer any word. Don't respond to any situation until you discuss with these members. Otherwise, you make mistake. That is why Isaiah chapter 32, 30 verse 15. Isaiah 30 verse 15. Let's see what he said there. We'll read it and read Isaiah 32 verse 17. Maturity is not from noise making. Maturity is gotten by active silence. Because God lives in silence. The dwelling places of God is where? In silence. That's where God stays. God lives in silence. God the Master, the Holy Israel, has this counsel. Your salvation requires you to turn back. Hi. Please, media, be using King James Version to me. Please. For thus says the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall you be saved. Returning in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and you will not listen. In quietness. In quietness and what? Confidence that you are a country. And before anything comes into your state, you have the power to make decision of what to do and what not to do. So that is the reason why I says, any country which no country is good, which its citizen is bad. No country is good, which its citizen bad. And no child is good, whose parents is not bad. There is no child that is bad whose parents is not bad. Any bad child is as a result of a bad parents. The parents is lacking in one way or the other by not giving the child the divine wisdom which he needed to grow up with. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. Train up a child in a way he will grow. And when he grows, he will never depart from it. The problems of children all over the world is because of the fact that the truth which they ought to know, that is internal and universal, was not given to them. They give a child, teach child about the omnipotent nature of God, but they ignore the omnipresence nature of God. Please note it. Omnipresence nature of God is saying that God is everywhere at all time. But omnipotent nature of God is talking about miracles, signs, and wonders. So when you teach a child about the omnipotent nature of God, he will see God as God who performs signs and wonders, and a God who is found only in a location. But when a child is being taught about the omnipresence nature of God, that God is everywhere, he will not commit a sin whether the parents is there or not. Because he knows that if the parents is not looking at him, God is looking at him. So what religion parents does, are you listening to me, is to tell a child, teach a child one part of God. God has three O's. God has three O's. Omnipresence, omnipotent, and omniscience nature. These are the three things that are supposed to be known by everybody, by every child. And the most important of it all is the omnipresence nature of God. When a child understands that God is everywhere at all time, his relationship or life, living in life, is no longer based between parents and the child, but it becomes between him and God. Between him and God, no longer between a child and a parent or circumstances. So a child can live a righteous life when he knows that God is everywhere. And if he is being taught of that, he will grow up to know that whether my mother is around or my mother is not around, I will still be faithful to God because God is with me anywhere I go. So this is the reason why if a child is not well taught like a New Jerusalemite, immediately the person gets admission or goes out from the parents, it becomes wide. It becomes wide and begin to do something you can never expect. This child could do it. Why? Because the omnipresence nature of God he was not educated of that. Please, so many of you will bear me a witness, and mothers as well. When a child goes out, it becomes wide. When the parents is not around, it becomes wide because it doesn't know that God is omnipresence. So wherever the mother is not or the parents is not, he can do anything. But in the presence of the mother, it becomes very calm. There are so many people who are womanizers, drug addicts, but their parents don't know. Are you listening to me what I'm saying? Their parents don't know that this child is a drug addict. Because of the lesson this child learned when he or she was growing up. It was just made that God. And the worst part of it is that teaching about the omnipotent nature of God, the power to perform miracles and signs and wonders, they included that God can punish anyone and kill any person and can be angry at. So what they thought is the threat they give to the child. So when he goes to hostel and begins to commit that sin and this sink did not fall on him or her, are you there? He said that what my mother told me is a lie. After going to nightclub, he drive freely and park at home. After drinking alcohol, nothing happened. He's still very strong and healthy. He said my mother is a liar because God did not punish me as my mother said. Please, this is a revelation that came to me by 4 a.m. today. That a part of God is discussed, but the other part of God is left behind. And these three O's of God must be discussed. A child must know it from the beginning of his life. Just like what the yoke we have broken when a child is in the church. They tell a little child that Adam and Eve eat an apple. They ate apple. When he goes to school and see people eating apple, he say, okay, this apple is not toxic. It doesn't kill people. How much do they sell apple now? How many? 500 naira. Praise the Lord. You now find out that the apple, they taught him or her in the church was something that destroyed Adam and Eve. That the apple is very sweet itself. It doesn't kill anybody, and the outside people are selling it. Glory be to God. But if the omnipresence nature of God had been told and taught that child, they would have been made known that it was sexual intercourse that brought Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. Then the person will now know originally that this is a problem. And we'll be able now to decide whether to go into it or not to go into it. But a situation where the truth is being hidden from a person who will later make use of it, then where are we going? Destruction. So, we forgot that it is omnipresence nature of God, the understanding and the knowledge of the omnipresence nature of God, that God is everywhere under the sun, that gives you the power to see or experience the omnipotent nature of God, which is signs and wonders. If you have not had a relationship with God in a private, In the secret, there is no way you can relate with him in the public or perform miracle, the so-called miracle in the public. I take you to the book of Matthew chapter 10 verse 27. Let's start from 26. Matthew 10, 26. So there is a missing link. There is a missing link in the teaching, and it is religion that caused all this. Religion that caused all this. Look at what Jesus Christ said, 26. Fear them not therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be. Did you see it? Nothing covered that should not be revealed. If you don't tell a man the truth, he will find out later. Many of you have come this place to stay and never to go out. Why? Because all the lies they have told you, you eventually found out that they have been cheating on you and you are not ready to go out. So also it happened to your children. All the lies religion have been telling you. When you came to the New Jerusalem, you find out that they are all lies. Then if we tell you stop coming, you say you still come. Are you there? You still come because you have known. Now, let us now turn it otherwise. Maybe it's your parents. Let's assume this is a university. And your parents have been packing a lot of lies and teaching you only the omnipotent nature of God. That God is this, God can heal, God can destroy, God is powerful, He performs signs and wonders. Then you come here now and find out that all these things your mother have been teaching you is lie. Praise the Lord. Fear them not therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hide that shall not be. Let's go to the next verse. What I tell you in darkness, that speak you in light, and what you hear in the ear, that preach you unto the housetop. The things which we discuss in the private, make it what? Known. Make it known, don't hide it. There is no secret. Is it 28 laws of the truth that says that truth is an open secret? 28 laws of the truth. Truth is an open secret, but it is only those people who have this patience to listen before talking that the secret is being revealed to. There is nothing difficult in truth, knowledge of it or revelation. Let's go to the Matthew chapter 6 verse 6 and see. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into the closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in. Have you seen where God stays? You see the dwelling place of God. That secret could be interpreted to silence or in private. In private, at a closed door. And thy Father which seeth in the secret shall reward thee openly. Shall reward thee openly. So it is your omnipresence, understanding that God is everywhere, even in your closet, even in the most secret place, even in the desert. Your understanding of that will make you to know, to have the power to perform signs and wonders and miracles and do something people will say that this person is too powerful. The people, the occult people, and the evil people, they do this. I have said it. An occult man who is a ritualist immediately travel a very far place, spend 1 day or 2 days, is done with that, he came home, he came back in the working place, he doesn't talk again. He doesn't talk again. You can tell an occult man, you are very stupid, I'm going to deal with you. He will just shake his head and laugh. Because he knows the secret chamber where he gets there. And when he goes there, he will remote it. Knowing that demon, should we say demon is omnipresence? Demon can get there. Demon is not omnipresence, but distance is not a barrier to a demon. Please, would I explain this to you? Demon is not a omnipresence. There is a place demon cannot get to. But distance is not a barrier for a demon. So even if you are in London and you are darkness, demon can locate you there. But even if you are in Shrine and you are light, demon cannot locate you. So it's not omnipresence, but distance is not a barrier to demon. So an occult man does not talk. And many people that smoke Igbo, you know, when they want to smoke Igbo, do they smoke it in the public? Apart from the fear of police, do they smoke Igbo in the public? They will go in under a river. And when you ask the person, what are you doing here? He said, there is something I'm tidying. I'm tidying something, I'm reasoning. I am reasoning. I'm tidying something. Glory be to God. Then you who call yourself a child of God don't have anything to tidy. You don't have anything to tidy. You can speak in tongues in a bus stop. Is it not true? Yeah? Go and see them now, even as it is raining. So many people now are speaking for the rain to stop. Maybe if after speaking by chance the rain stops, you go to church and give testimony that I commanded the rain to stop. You wanted to stop before. It didn't stop because of your kekekekekeke. The rain wanted to stop before. It's not your prayer. So it is very rich a lesson that you understand that God is omni before you start looking for miracles. That God is omnipresence. That side of God's nature must be the primary thing that needs to be taught. Before you come to church, you have prepared and know that omnipresence God is with you. Don't allow anything that is physical, like signs and wonders, to begin to control you. Don't allow, that's why we say that your link between anything physical, if you want to be godly, must be truth. Must be truth. When you do good and nobody saw you or see you after doing good, don't worry. You have entered into the network and the frequency of God. Not until somebody thanks you or say you are too much. Because you know God is omnipresence. You stop doing eye service. You stop doing eye service. You can do good anywhere. Knowing that God is omnipresence, that settles it. You will no longer depend on material or physical things when you understand that God is omnipresence. Because there is a point when your material things cannot speak for you. As you are now in the house, if your house wants to catch fire, as now you are in the church, if your house wants to catch fire, your house will not come to tell you. Or before you leave in the morning, you want to go out. that your mansion will not speak to you in the time of danger. If you believe on the omnipotent nature of God only. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Am I communicating with you? Your house will not speak to you when you want to, when you are out here. Your house will not tell you that there is danger coming. But the good which you do will speak to you and let you know that there is danger ahead. This is the reason why I told you people that if not because religion is evil, humanity should have long ago found heaven here on earth. Civilization would have taken over, and who made the civilization? Christians. But as soon as Christianity become religion, then people begin to discuss God in one side aspect of God. Check out what people from this understanding you gain now, what people are discussing in the churches is omnipotent nature of God. Signs and wonders. Signs and wonders. What God can do. Miracle He can perform. But they don't know that miracle is limited. It's not all that you need. You need to know the omnipresence nature of God. That you walk with God anywhere you do. And what connects you to people is nothing but continue doing good. What connects you to spirit is nothing but continue doing good. If you do good and nobody say thank you to you, don't worry. You have entered into the frequency of heaven. You have entered into the frequency of heaven. In the time of danger, they will protect you. Please, very, very important. Many people are doing their Christian life because of people to see them. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. The day of freedom. How many Christians know that they are not alone? That is why you see people today, they confess Jesus, but they still don't believe that Jesus is dead and he's still alive. If you know that Jesus is omnipresence, there is nothing, no demon will make you to be afraid. If you know that Jesus is everywhere, there is no demon or urge that will make you to commit sin. So why Christian religion, why they are failing is what? Because they have not believed that Jesus Christ is omnipresence. They don't know the omnipresence nature of God. That is why somebody can go to witch doctor and come to church with charm in his pocket and he's confessing Christ. He now believed that as long as he hide from the crowd and nobody notices, that he's free. That is the reason why somebody can drink alcohol and use tom-tom. There is one I saw in Nikon Sheraton. After drinking alcohol, they chew granuts. It's more active, right? You people should praise the Lord. It's because you don't believe that God is omnipresence that will make you to drink alcohol and take tom-tom or chew granuts. That as long as people around you did not notice that you drank alcohol, you are a free person. But if you know that God is omnipresence, there is no way you can do that. As long as you know that God is omnipresence, there is no way you can cheat your wife. Cheat on your wife or your wife cheat on you. As long as you know that God is omnipresence, there is no way you call yourself man of God and begin to strategize on how to exploit your followers and deceive them. So if you don't have omnipresence relationship with God or knowledge of God, God will not give you that omnipotence you are looking for. It is the things and the relationship you have built with God in the secret when you were not seen, that is what you demonstrate in the outside. That's why so many people will see what is happening, miracle, man of God performing miracle. At the end of the day, they begin to copy and do what the person do. If he fails and it didn't work, what else will they do? They will go and bring charm and begin to perform miracles, signs, and wonders because they are seeing God from one perspective. That is the reason why men of God would deceive so many of you. A man of God who has the knowledge of the omnipotent nature of God and omniscience nature of God has not even concluded that he has not attained perfection. Because omniscience nature of God gives a man the power to prophesy. Please understand what I'm saying. It gives a man power to give prophecy. Omnipresence nature of God, omniscience nature of God, to see the unseen in the seen. But that is not enough. There is one thing missing. That thing which is missing is the knowledge and understanding of the omniscience nature, omnipresence nature of God, that God is everywhere. Praise be the name of the Lord. The day of freedom. Please, I want you to be free, not to be controlled by what you see, not to be controlled by material things, because material things has a limit. But the omnipresence nature of God can give you everything. And no, I'm warning you today, from today, don't open your mouth to condemn any government. Don't open your mouth to condemn any government. Because you are a president and a governor of yourself. Are you listening to what I'm saying? You are a president and a governor of yourself. You have to govern yourself first before you begin to condemn a governor or a president. And that is the reason why I tell you that the worst thing that have ever happened to humanity is religion. Churches and all other religions of places of worship, because they told us that God is only in the church, not in our hearts. God is only in the church or in a house, not in our heart. But we don't know that our house is the National Assembly, where we can make decision before we act it out there. So don't blame any government. When the government God in heaven had given to you, you are unable to rule over them and govern them. If the good life starts from you, the whole country would automatically and naturally be okay. So many of you who are already delivered and captured, you know how peaceful you are at your home. Okay, let's assume that 2 of you are added again. And 3 of you are added again, and we continue expanding like that. What will you think will be the watch, the government like? Are you listening to me? What happened to you is what is happening in the world. So if you are not good as a person, don't open your mouth to condemn any government. God knows in his infinite wisdom that you are a nation. In the book of Genesis chapter 25. Let's go there. 25. Let's start from verse 23. God knows that you are a nation. For the sake of time, go to 24. Okay, don't worry. And the Lord said to her, Rebekah, two nations are in your womb. 2 nations are in your womb. 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the other shall serve the 2 nations, Esau and Jacob. 2 nations. God knows that every individual is a nation. Every individual is a nation. So if you can't govern yourself, if you can't make yourself rich, if you can't make yourself peaceful, if you can't make your home to be okay, don't point any accusing finger at any governor or a president or a chairman. Because as the nation is condemned and bad, so also the family of a president of a country is condemned. Because if he had been a good person, are we there? He would be a good president. So this is what religion had done to humanity. A child does not know what he's supposed to know that will make him to be a good person from the one. Imagine I'm a governor of a state. Imagine if I'm a governor of a state. Glory be to God. Madam Bugu is saying governor of Enugu State. Imagine I'm a governor of a state. What do you think will happen to the state? It will be what? Peaceful. Imagine if you are a New Jerusalemite and you become a president or a governor of a state. What do you think will happen to there? So a rotten state is a rotten citizen. A rotten citizen produces a rotten state. And so it is in the family. That's why I keep on telling you people, stop coming this place stop looking at me. If this thing which I'm teaching is not reflecting to your family, you are a loser. You are what? The greatest fool I have ever seen. The greatest fool I have ever seen. If these things which I'm teaching is not reflecting in your family, you are the greatest, the most stupid person I've ever seen. And I'm still telling you, you can stop coming here if this thing is not reflecting, because you are the mirror, an extension of the New Jerusalem wherever you are. You are an extension. So I'm not talking here for anything. For me and my family, we are already secured. We are already secured so peacefully. I think it was in foundation class, I was telling them, I don't even know that I'm married. I don't even know that I am married. Like the stress of marriage, it's not in me. Because I treat my wife like my younger sister. Ada, is it true? Glory be to God. Is that okay? I treat her like my younger sister or my first daughter. Any of them could go. Nothing. It's just like I'm staying with my younger sister and I treat her as if I'm treating my first son, my first daughter. That's it. So, very peaceful, calmly. Then, when we begin to produce such families, then what do you think will be the country? What do you think will be the world? Peace. So, it is high time, please, children of God, it is high time we remove power. We do what? Remove power. We give to money, give to material things, give to fear of death, give to false prophecies and their threatening prophecies. It is high time we remove power, we give to alcohol. We remove power, we give to sex. We remove power, we give to people with title. And give that power back to truth, to God, to Jesus Christ. Yes, we have given money so much power. We have given demons so much power that somebody will be remembering what a witch doctor said 30 years ago, and this is me talking every time, and nothing happens in your life. You remember what your husband or your wife told you or your children told you thousands of years, but you will not remember what I am speaking here every day. Are you listening to me? You will give more value to money than what I speak here. I told you someday a woman came to me after counseling her. She squeezed money and gave to me and said, I said, what is that? He says money. I said, my God is not a goat. We don't eat grass. We don't eat grass. Why are you giving me money in the office? That is paper. That is what? Paper. It's powerless. You can't make use of the word I told you. You are giving me money. He says prophet offering. I said, I'm not a prophet. He said, prophet, I'm not a prophet. I don't eat grass. I'm not goat. So we have to remove the power we give to money and give it to God. You can't serve two masters at a time. Make announcements now that any person who comes to Worthy Lord Church of the Universe will go home with 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira. That's when you will know that the Karamajiji is larger than a state. Karamajiji is larger than a state. So many people will call their children out in the village or their cousins in the village, come holidays. Come holidays. Because what? They value money more than truths. They value money more than truths. So the power we give to that, we have to remove it, retrieve it, and allow those electorates, the citizens of the body, to decide that we are leaving you. You alcohol, please go your way. Go your way. We have removed that power we gave to you. To who? To God. Matthew 6:24. Money is valueless if you don't give it value. Sex is valueless if you don't give it value. Alcohol is useless, is a poison if you do not give it value. But because you have not governed yourself well, longer throats will do what? Will continue pushing you till you drink what will kill you. You have power to decide what happened in you, into your life. There is nothing like urge that you didn't entertain. When Satan comes into you, you gave it seats to sit. And you people begin to negotiate. Begin to discuss. After the bargain, he wins. You get roped into it. If you didn't put a table for Satan to discuss with him in your National Assembly, are you there? Which is your heart. There is no way you can be lured into anything. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. You can put comma there: mammon, money, sex, fame, popularity, respect, and other things, which is material. We have to remove them, because all these things are not eternal. It is only truth, God, Jesus Christ, that is eternal. You gave them power to rule over you. John chapter 8 verse 34. Instead of you governing your body, governing yourself, you allow money to govern you. He said, he who commits a sin is being ruled over by the sin. Why can't you sit down and discuss with your cabinet that we want to vote this person out? We want to vote this idea out, and we want to vote this what? Yes, this habit and this idea, we want to vote you out. You people sit down in your bed, you discuss. Today, alcohol, please. Today, alcohol, please, we want to sign off. You vote it out. Many people, many girls will tell me, I don't have a job. I don't have a husband. I don't do this. I say, you don't have a job. Do you want to work with two masters? If you resign from the activities of Satan, because Satan employ you and give you basic salaries. Are you there? Satan employ you. So when you resign from the activities of Satan, then and get yourself employed, you can be employed by God. But if you are still on the activities of Satan, you are on duty. You are on duty. A drunkard, a womanizer, all of them are employed by Satan. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. If you have a boyfriend as a single person, don't complain you are not married. Because spiritually you are married. It's only that you don't know the omnipresence nature of God that is the reason why you are complaining that you are not married. The Bible said it in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 24. That when a person get married, he become one flesh. They become what? One flesh. And Jesus repeated it in the book of Matthew chapter 19. They become one flesh. Immediately you have a sexual intercourse with any man, you are in a family already. So in the spiritual realm, God is seeing you as a married person. Satan is seeing you as a married person. Then you come in the physical and say you want to get married. How? You want to go into a polygamous marriage? Praise the Lord. Jesus answered them, most assuredly I say to you, whoever commits sin is a slave of... That's all. You are a slave of sin. There is a song that says, I am no longer a slave to sin. I am a child of God. You are a slave to every bad habit you are. So as the president is tormenting you, so your habit is tormenting you. As a governor of your state is tormenting you, so your habit is tormenting you until you vote it out. Jesus met a woman in the pool of in the well of Abraham in the book of John chapter 4. Then the woman was telling Jesus that Jesus said, go and call your husband. He said, I'm not married. Jesus said, lie. You have how many? 5 husbands. And the one whom you are with here is not even your husband. But in the spiritual realm, you are already married. Do we go to that? Okay. John chapter 13. John chapter 4 verse 13. Let's take it from there. Jesus answered and said to her, whosoever drink of this water will thirst again. Let's go. But whoever drinks of the water, which is the truth, that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him, the truth I will give to him, will become in him a fountain of water springing up into eternal life, into everlasting life. Let's go. The woman said to him, Sir, give me this water, give me this truth, that I may not thirst nor come here to draw. Let's go. Jesus said to her, go call your husband. Go and call your husband and come. Go and call your husband and come. I need a family here. I need a family so that whatever I tell you will reflect to your whole family, so that you not only be free but receive freedom. The wife and the husband. Let's see what the woman told you. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, you have well said, I have no husband. According to you, I don't have a husband. Let's go. Or you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you are now have is not your husband. In that you spoke truly. That was when the woman now screamed and said, I have seen a prophet. I have seen a prophet who sees beyond, who knows the omnipresence, the omnipotent, and omniscience of God. So when you are a slave to sin, you are already employed by Satan. All those bad luck you are having near success syndrome, it might be a bottle of Hero or a stick of Benson that will go and scatter all your plans. Scatter all your plans. And at the end of the day, whatever you put your hand, that stick, with the demon behind it, will go and scatter everything. Please, there is no a person who drinks alcohol that is a responsible person. Nobody who smokes, who drinks, who womanizes, who tell evil lies. We have given power to all these things. But I want you now to make a decision. If you go home today, go and sit down. Call the citizens. Let us discuss. What are the citizens of the body? Your body, soul, spirit, your thoughts, your words, and your action. You people sit. The electorate. Which one do we want to vote in? Do we start from alcohol? Or do we start from... From what? From anger. From lies. That's it. We have given devil so much power that we don't know the value of truth. That's why anybody who is coming here and what you are hearing here, I repeat it, is not reflecting to your life. You are a loser. You are a failure. Me is reflecting in my life, and I want it to reflect in your life. And I still say, any man of God who is not doing what we preach, are you there? Is a failure, is a loser, is satanic. I did not say who is not preaching what we are preaching. Please note, I didn't say who is not preaching what we are preaching. The preaching might sound alike, but I'm talking of doing, experiencing heaven here on earth. Who is not doing what I'm doing is a failure, a liar, and satanic, and should resign. Mommy, why are you laughing? You don't want them to resign? Okay, it's not easy because they get money. No problem. No problem. I told you, what the New Jerusalem is going to do to churches is what internet did to post office. What internet did to post office. Well, how many people have you seen going to post office to go and post a mail? With phone, you will send a letter to everywhere. So when we simplify it and make life simple, who will go to church? Nobody. Nobody would go to church. A pastor and a wife was here, the person you directed, in one of the biggest churches, but they are in torment. They came here. I stir everything. They were here over 8 hours. They were the first person to come here around 9 o'clock, and they didn't go till it was 5. After 6, they left here. But before 10 o'clock, they was in the church. I said, let us count mile. Tell me. You are a man of God. He said he would have gone to evangelism. If not because of this program, but he said, let him come to every Saturday in the morning, go to evangelism. I said, preaching what? Preaching, what are you teaching people? I said, I know why you are struggling to preach the word of God. Is out of fear. You think that by saying what you don't know, God will bless you. That's it. You think that saying what you don't know, God would bless you. Satan will use Cain and blala hell out of you. He was on it already. Then after that, he was very sober and calm and so grateful. Sober, calm, and so grateful. Why do you go about to preach of the things you don't know? It is against the first laws of the truth. It is against the first laws of the truth. Don't teach truth or speak truth until you know and understand it. Because truth is a sword of 2 edges. Immediately Satan see that you are preaching what you don't know, he will remove his clothes and keep and relax and begin to rejoice. Because he can deal with you anytime. Praise the Lord. So, finally, what is this? Vote. Now, anything you vote into your life, you can also do what? Vote it out. What is that? Veto. You know the meaning of veto? Veto power is deciding that we are going to remove this person we appointed. So the same spelling of votes is the same spelling, the number, the letters are the same thing. You just to change it. After sitting down, you just remove this E, bring to the center, and carry this O and come here. You veto it. Glory be to God. I see my auntie waving her hand because he works in National Assembly. Is that, where do you work? Okay, Federal High Court. Okay, Federal High Court. You understand what I mean by veto? Okay, thank you. Glory be to God. You know, my people say, Ochichi kakwa mano n'onyo doro anya ukwu na ọjọọ gara n'ahịa a na-enyo eziokwu enyo. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So when you are understanding the word which is being preached or teach, you feel at home. You are ready. So I want you people to go home and sit down, reason of the things you have to let go in your life. Of the things you need to let go. Please, you can never move forward in life if there is any single thing that is holding you back. Then as soon as you let all those things go, you people have never tested heaven here on earth. That is why you are still struggling to go back to sin. I'm telling you, nothing is as sweet as that. Thank you. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The day of freedom. The day of freedom. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So, the gubernatorial election, when is this holding? It is going to... When are you going to conduct the election? Praise the Lord. Today? In the night? Yes. Eh? In the night. Who's on the says when? In the night. Praise the Lord. So by tomorrow, results would have come. Whether it is alcohol that won, or whether it is hatred that won, or love? We are going to conduct election before we begin to talk about the presidential elections of this country. Glory be to God. You are a blessed man. You are a blessed person in the mighty name of Jesus. If you ask for the grace, God will give it to you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Blessed be the name of the Lord.